In the dynamic world of academic publishing, the landscape of development journals is undergoing notable changes as we move into 2025. David McKenzie, a lead economist at the World Bank, presents a comprehensive overview of these shifts in his latest report, The State of Development Journals 2025. This annual analysis compiles crucial data on journal quality, submission trends, acceptance rates, review times, and the progress toward open access in development economics journals. One of the most striking aspects highlighted in McKenzie's report is the stability of journal quality metrics despite the increasing volume of submissions. The impact factor RePEC rankings and SC Imago Journal Rank SJR continue to serve as benchmarks for assessing journal prestige. McKenzie notes that while there is substantial overlap in citation distributions, the mean number of citations has remained consistent across journals over the years. This stability suggests that despite a surge in submissions totaling over 491 papers across 12 tracked journals, quality remains a priority for editorial boards. The report indicates a significant resurgence in submissions, particularly following the COVID-19 pandemic. For instance, World Development has seen a 74% increase in submissions since 2016, while the Journal of Development Economics (JDE) and the Journal of Development Studies (JDS) are not far behind, with increases of 67% and 70% respectively. Interestingly, the Journal of African Economies has experienced the lowest acceptance rate at just 3%, reflecting the journal's stringent quality control amid rising submission figures. As the demand for publication rises, so too does the need for efficiency in the peer review process. McKenzie reveals that desk rejection rates average around 72%, with a conditional acceptance rate of approximately 39% for papers that reach the review stage. Most journals manage to provide a first-round decision within 6 months, a time frame that authors should feel comfortable inquiring about if exceeded. Progress towards open science is another key theme in McKenzie's findings. There has been a marked increase in the share of papers published open access, with journals like Economía LACEA achieving a remarkable 100% open access rate. Such advancements are facilitated by institutional agreements that cover publication costs, making research more accessible to a broader audience. Furthermore, several journals are now requiring data sharing, promoting transparency and reproducibility in research. In addition to these trends, McKenzie reports on structural changes within journals, such as new editorial boards and the introduction of unique submission categories like short papers and registered reports in the JDE. These innovations aim to streamline the publication process and cater to diverse research outputs, reflecting a responsive shift in the journal's approach to modern academic challenges. Additionally, the report touches upon the importance of including authors from low and middle-income countries in research publications, emphasizing a broader representation in the development discourse. The Journal of Development Studies has reported a notable percentage of authors from the Global South, indicating a shift towards inclusivity in academic publishing. As McKenzie summarizes the current state of development journals, it becomes clear that the academic community is navigating a transformative phase. The interplay between increased submissions, evolving quality metrics, and the push for open access exemplifies a commitment to enhancing the impact of development research. Looking ahead, the continued evolution of these journals and their policies will be crucial in fostering a vibrant, inclusive, and high-quality academic environment that can effectively address the pressing challenges of global development. In an era where access to academic research is increasingly vital for fostering innovation and collaboration, the landscape of development economics journals is undergoing significant scrutiny and transformation. The World Bank's latest analysis, presented by David McKenzie, sheds light on the current state of these journals, examining critical factors such as quality, acceptance rates, review times, and the shift towards open access. This comprehensive overview not only highlights the evolving dynamics of academic publishing but also suggests future directions that could enhance accessibility in scholarly work. The report, which marks the 9th installment of McKenzie's annual series, dives deep into the quality metrics that define the leading journals in development economics. McKenzie employs 3 key measures: the Traditional Impact Factor REPEC Journal Rankings and the SCImago Journal Rank SJR. The impact factor assesses citation frequency, revealing a skewed distribution of citations across journals. Notably, the SJR metric incorporates the prestige of citing journals, providing a more nuanced understanding of a publication's influence. Despite fluctuations in the academic landscape, these rankings have exhibited remarkable stability over the past few years. An essential aspect of the report is the examination of submission trends to these journals. In 2024, a total of 12,491 papers were submitted across 12 journals, illustrating a revival in scholarly activity following the COVID-19 pandemic. Notably, the Journal of Development Economics (JDE) and World Development (WD) reported increases in submissions by 67% and 74% respectively since 2016. As a result of this surge, the total published papers also increased, with 937 new articles making their debut in 2024. This uptick in submissions and publications underscores the growing interest in development research, yet it also raises questions about the implications for acceptance rates, which have remained relatively stable across most journals. The acceptance rates, calculated based on the number of papers published versus those submitted, reveal disparities among journals. The Journal of African Economies stands out with a notably low acceptance rate of 3%, a reflection of its rigorous selection process amidst rising submissions. McKenzie emphasizes that while these figures provide a general sense of acceptance likelihood, they cannot predict individual outcomes, as quality and submission variability play crucial roles. In addition to traditional research articles, the JDE has introduced innovative formats such as short papers and registered reports, catering to the evolving needs of researchers. The short paper format, which allows for concise submissions with expedited review processes, gained popularity, evidenced by an increase in submissions from 148 in 2023 to 205 in 2024. Meanwhile, registered reports have emerged as a mechanism to promote transparency, with a notable acceptance rate for Phase 1 submissions. Timeliness in the review process remains a critical concern for authors. The report reveals an average desk rejection rate of 72%, with a conditional acceptance rate of 39% for papers that make it past this initial stage. Most journals provide decisions within a 6-month timeframe, indicating a relatively efficient review process compared to past years. As the push for open science gains momentum, McKenzie notes significant strides towards increasing the proportion of open access publications. Journals like Economía LACEA now operate entirely on an open access model, while others are gradually increasing their open access offerings. The Journal of Development Effectiveness reported that 39% of its 2024 publications are open access, with an even higher percentage of newly accepted papers made freely available. This transition is often facilitated through institutional agreements that eliminate the financial burden on individual authors. Finally, the report highlights additional developments within the journal ecosystem, such as new editorial boards and a focus on enhancing diversity among authors. The Journal of Development Studies reported that nearly a third of its published papers in 2024 included authors from low and middle income countries, a statistic that reflects a growing commitment to inclusivity in research. In conclusion, the landscape of development economics journals is shifting, driven by an increase in submissions, evolving publication formats, and a commitment to open access. As we look to the future, these trends suggest a more inclusive and accessible academic environment that can better serve the global research community. With continued efforts towards transparency and efficiency in the publication process, the potential for impactful development research is vast, fostering collaboration and innovation on a global scale. In an era where travel and culinary experiences are being reshaped by the pandemic's lingering effects, actor and filmmaker Stanley Tucci is set to return to Italy with a new series produced by National Geographic. Tucci, known for his engaging storytelling and passion for Italian cuisine, aims to delve deeper into the cultural and culinary landscapes of the country that has captivated his heart. In this upcoming series, he promises to explore not just the well-trodden paths of Italy's famed gastronomy but also to uncover lesser-known regional delicacies and traditions that define its rich culinary heritage. This foray into Italy comes at a time when culinary tourism is gaining momentum, with travelers increasingly seeking authentic experiences that offer a taste of local life. "I want to go more in-depth this time," Tucci stated, emphasizing his desire to connect with local chefs and families to discover the stories behind the dishes. As he embarks on this journey, viewers can expect an intimate look at the people, ingredients, and traditions that make Italian cuisine one of the most beloved in the world. Meanwhile, National Geographic is amplifying its own content with the return of SharkFest, a summer event that promises over 25 hours of programming centered around the ocean's most misunderstood predator. Among the highlights is the special Sharks Up Close with Bertie Gregory, featuring the Emmy-winning cinematographer on a daring mission to film great white sharks in a cage-free environment off the coast of South Africa. This series not only aims to entertain but also to educate audiences about shark conservation, shedding light on the critical role these creatures play in marine ecosystems. "Sharks are often viewed with fear, but they are vital to the health of our oceans," Gregory remarked. By showcasing the beauty and complexity of these animals, the series seeks to foster a deeper appreciation and understanding among viewers, particularly as discussions around marine conservation gain traction globally. The convergence of these two narratives, Tucci's exploration of Italy's culinary landscape and National Geographic's deep dive into shark conservation, highlights a broader trend in media where storytelling is increasingly intertwined with education and advocacy. As audiences become more aware of the environmental and cultural issues at play, content that informs while it entertains is likely to resonate more deeply. Looking ahead, both Tucci's series and SharkFest represent a growing commitment within the entertainment industry to not only showcase the beauty of our world but also to encourage sustainable practices and cultural appreciation. As viewers tune in to these programs, they will not only enjoy a visual feast but also engage with the underlying messages that call for a more profound respect for the culinary arts and the natural world. The future of travel and food programming is set to be as much about discovery and connection as it is about enjoyment and indulgence. At this year's Worldwide Developers Conference WWDC, Apple unveiled a series of transformative updates for its iPad operating system, iPadOS 26, indicating a significant shift in the capabilities of its tablet lineup. With enhancements that blurred the lines between iPadOS and macOS, Apple is positioning the iPad as a more versatile computing device, appealing to a broader range of users who seek functionality akin to traditional computers. The latest iteration of iPadOS introduces a striking new design dubbed Liquid Glass, which offers a sleek, reflective aesthetic. Alongside this visual upgrade, the operating system features a revamped multitasking interface designed for intuitive window management, making it easier for users to navigate between applications seamlessly. This overhaul marks one of the most substantial updates in the history of Apple's tablet software, aimed at enhancing productivity and creativity for all users. A standout feature of iPadOS 26 is the introduction of 4 new applications: Journal, Apple Games Preview, and Phone. Each app has been developed to enrich the user experience significantly. The Journal app, initially launched with iOS 18, allows users to document everyday moments or special events. With iPad's larger screen and support for the Apple Pencil, users who prefer handwritten entries will benefit from a more natural journaling experience. The Apple Games app is set to become a central hub for gaming on the iPad. It features a game overlay that enables players to keep track of updates, modify settings, and connect with friends, all without interrupting their gameplay. This innovative approach aims to enhance gaming experiences and foster community engagement among players. Additionally, the Preview app, which has long been a staple of macOS, is making its debut on iPadOS. This app streamlines file management, allowing users to create sketches and annotate PDFs and images while accessing documents seamlessly through the Files app. The inclusion of Preview reflects Apple's ongoing commitment to improving productivity tools available on its devices. Perhaps most notably, the phone app is now available on iPadOS, bringing features like Hold Assist and call screening. The redesigned interface splits the screen, making it easier to manage contacts and view detailed information about calls, further integrating communication capabilities into the iPad. Beyond these new applications, iPadOS 26 also enhances existing system apps like Calculator and Notes. The Calculator app now supports 3D graphing, enabling users to write complex equations and visualize them graphically. Meanwhile, the Notes app adds functionalities such as markdown file support and audio recording with transcription, making it a more powerful tool for both students and professionals alike. As Apple continues to redefine the capabilities of the iPad, this latest update brings the device closer to functioning as a primary computing solution rather than just a supplemental device. With its focus on enhanced multitasking, productivity, and creativity, iPadOS 26 sets the stage for the iPad to become an indispensable tool for a wide range of users. Looking ahead, the implications of these updates could reshape how consumers perceive and utilize tablets in their daily lives, as Apple pushes the boundaries of what its devices can achieve. It will be fascinating to see how competitors respond and what further innovations lie ahead in the ever-evolving landscape of consumer technology. In an era where technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace, the convergence of financial speculation and innovative transportation solutions is capturing the imagination of investors and entrepreneurs alike. Recently, a notable figure in the investment community known for amassing wealth through meme stocks has shifted his focus towards the burgeoning field of flying taxis. This pivot underscores a growing interest in urban air mobility as a viable solution to traffic congestion and urban transportation challenges. The investor who gained prominence during the meme stock frenzy has reportedly invested significantly in several startups developing flying taxi technology. By leveraging the momentum from his previous successes, he hopes to capitalize on what many industry experts predict could be a multi-billion-dollar market in the coming years. As urban populations continue to swell, the demand for efficient and innovative transportation options is likely to escalate. Urban air mobility is not just a fantasy anymore, it's becoming a reality, said a prominent analyst in the field. Investors are recognizing the potential for flying taxis to transform how we navigate our cities. Meanwhile, in the corporate realm, United Airlines has made headlines by climbing the ranks in this year's Fortune 500 list, reflecting a post-pandemic recovery and strategic shifts in its operations. The airline's ascension in the rankings is attributed to its robust recovery strategy, which includes expanding its route network and enhancing customer service. The airline industry has faced significant challenges over the past few years, and United's ability to adapt has positioned it favorably among its competitors. A company spokesperson noted, "Our focus on innovation and customer experience is driving our growth, and we are committed to maintaining this momentum as we move forward." In addition to the airline industry, the Fortune 500 list has also recognized 8 companies based in the Philadelphia area, highlighting the region's economic diversity and resilience. These companies span various sectors including healthcare, finance, and technology, showcasing the region's robust business environment. As companies navigate the evolving economic landscape, their inclusion in the Fortune 500 serves as a testament to their sustained performance and adaptability in a competitive market. Recognizing the importance of workplace culture, consulting firm Protiviti has been honored on the 2025 Fortune Best Workplaces in the Bay Area list. This acknowledgement marks the 7th time Protiviti has received this distinction, reinforcing its commitment to fostering an inclusive and innovative corporate environment. Scott Redfern, the firm's EVP of Global Human Resources, stated, "Being recognized on this prestigious list once again is a testament to our employees' dedication to success as we accelerate innovation and celebrate belonging." Such accolades not only enhance the firm's reputation but also attract top talent, which is crucial in an increasingly competitive job market. The recognition also aligns with broader trends in corporate America, where businesses are increasingly prioritizing employee experience and engagement as key drivers of success. As organizations strive to create better workplaces, those that invest in their employees tend to see improved performance and loyalty, according to Michael C. Bush, CEO of Great Place to Work. As we look to the future, the intersection of technology investment and workplace culture will likely continue to shape the business landscape. The potential for flying taxis to redefine urban transport, coupled with the ongoing recognition of companies that prioritize employee satisfaction, paints a hopeful picture for innovation and growth in various sectors. Investors, employees, and companies alike will need to remain agile and forward-thinking to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. As tensions between the United States and China continue to shape the global economic landscape, Asian markets are experiencing a notable advance driven by ongoing trade talks aimed at de-escalating the trade war. The negotiations, which resumed in London on Monday, have sparked optimism among investors and market analysts alike. Following a 6-hour discussion between U.S. officials and their Chinese counterparts, the sentiment among U.S. officials remained cautiously optimistic, with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent describing the meeting as good and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick calling the negotiations fruitful. President Trump echoed this sentiment, stating he received good reports from the talks, although he acknowledged that dealing with China presents its challenges. The backdrop to this recent round of talks is a complex web of tariffs and trade policies that have escalated tensions between the two nations, particularly since the Geneva Agreement in May aimed at pausing tariff hikes. Reports suggest that both sides have accused each other of violating the terms of this truce. The stakes are high, especially regarding critical materials like rare earths, which are vital for technology and automotive industries. As Vice Premier Hao Lifeng leads the Chinese delegation, U.S. officials are keen on establishing a firm agreement on rare earth exports, which have become a point of contention amid the ongoing trade negotiations. The implications of these discussions extend far beyond the negotiating table. The impact of the U.S.-China trade war has already been felt in various sectors, with recent data indicating a significant drop in ocean container imports from China to the U.S. in May, down 28.5% year-over-year, marking the sharpest decline since the pandemic began. This decline underscores how tariffs and trade uncertainties are reshaping supply chains and altering trade flows between the two countries. Moreover, the recent doubling of tariffs on steel and aluminum from 25% to 50% is expected to have profound ramifications for U.S. businesses. Analysts predict that these heightened tariffs could increase import costs by more than $100 billion, adversely affecting various sectors, including automotive manufacturers like Ford, which have already begun to feel the pinch. As companies grapple with rising costs, many are resorting to stealth price hikes, passing on tariff-related expenses to consumers without overtly raising prices. Amid the uncertainty, the broader market response has been mixed. While Asian stocks have advanced, reflecting a degree of optimism regarding the trade talks, volatility in U.S. markets has been tempered compared to earlier in the trade conflict. Investors are cautiously watching for signs of tangible progress as the U.S. pushes for quicker negotiations across multiple fronts, including talks with India and ongoing discussions with the United Kingdom. Looking ahead, the outcome of these negotiations could redefine the economic landscape as both nations navigate the delicate balance of cooperation and competition. As President Trump prepares for further discussions, the potential for a significant trade agreement looms large, but the path forward remains fraught with challenges. With a self-imposed deadline for reaching new trade deals approaching, the coming weeks could prove pivotal in determining the future of U.S.-China relations and their implications for the global economy. As market participants await the results of these talks, one thing is clear: the dynamics of international trade are evolving rapidly, and stakeholders must remain agile in response to the unfolding developments. In a significant development for the field of particle physics, researchers at Fermilab have announced the latest results from the muon G-2 experiment, a groundbreaking investigation into the behavior of the elusive muon, a particle closely related to the electron but over 200 times heavier. This announcement, made on June 3, 2025, has reignited debates surrounding the so-called muon G-2 anomaly, a potential indicator of physics that extends beyond the well-established Standard Model. The Standard Model has long been the definitive framework for understanding fundamental particles and their interactions. However, the findings from Fermilab have generated a mix of excitement and skepticism among physicists. The muon, which experiences an intrinsic magnetic property known as its anomalous magnetic moment, wobbles when subjected to an external magnetic field. This wobble is quantified by a parameter known as g, which theoretical calculations suggest should equal 2. When precise measurements deviate from this value, it raises questions about the existence of new particles or forces not accounted for by the Standard Model. Fermilab's latest measurement of the muon's anomalous magnetic moment yields a value of 0.001165920705 for G-2 with an extraordinary precision of 127 parts per billion, akin to weighing a bison with the accuracy of a single sunflower seed. This latest result, however, has been met with a complex interpretation as recent theoretical calculations have adjusted to align more closely with the experimental data, leading some to argue that the muon G-2 anomaly may no longer pose a significant challenge to the Standard Model. The answer to whether there is new physics may depend on which theory prediction you compare against, notes Hartmut Wittig, a professor at the University of Mainz and a member of the muon G-2 theory initiative. This initiative has brought together over 100 theorists to harmonize calculations surrounding G-2, providing a consensus that could resolve discrepancies between experimental and theoretical predictions. A recent paper released by the initiative indicates that the difference between the experimental measurement and theoretical predictions is now less than 1 part per billion, which is a remarkable convergence. The complexity of accurately predicting G-2 stems from the intricate interplay of forces at work within the muon. The effects of 3 of the 4 known fundamental forces, electromagnetism, the weak interaction, and the strong interaction, must be considered in the calculations. Specifically, contributions from virtual particles, particularly hadrons, complicate the theoretical landscape. Hadrons, which are formed from quarks and gluons, can create unpredictable interactions that challenge physicists' ability to make precise predictions. The experimental results have sparked a renewed interest in exploring the boundaries of the Standard Model, particularly concerning theories like supersymmetry, which posits the existence of partner particles for every known particle. These theories had previously provided a potential explanation for the muon G-2 anomaly, leading to a flurry of speculative research. However, with the latest findings suggesting that the anomaly may be less pronounced than previously thought, the future of such theories is now in question. As researchers continue to analyze the implications of the latest G-2 results, attention is turning toward potential new experiments and theoretical explorations. Kim-Sheng Ka, an associate professor at Shanghai Jiao Tong University involved in the Fermilab initiative, emphasizes the ongoing nature of this research, stating, "Every physics study is a work in progress." Fermilab is also exploring possibilities to repurpose the muon storage ring and the accompanying magnet used in the G-2 experiment for further research. In conclusion, while the latest findings from Fermilab may suggest a resolution to the muon G-2 anomaly, the quest for understanding the fundamental nature of matter and the forces that govern the universe continues. As physicists refine their theoretical models and develop new experiments, they remain hopeful that the answers they seek may ultimately lead to groundbreaking discoveries that reshape our understanding of the cosmos. As the scientific community watches closely, the implications of these results may well influence the future trajectory of particle physics research for years to come. In a groundbreaking study recently published in the Journal of Human Genetics, researchers have made significant strides in addressing the challenges posed by mucopolysaccharidosis IVA-MPS IVA, a rare genetic disorder linked to the malfunctioning of the GALNS gene. This condition results in the accumulation of glycosaminoglycans GAGs in various tissues, leading to severe skeletal dysplasia and a drastically reduced quality of life for affected individuals. Currently, no effective treatments exist to mitigate the effects of this debilitating disease, but a novel approach using lentiviral vectors LVs may offer new hope. The research, led by Batul Selik, Andres Felipe Leal Kakut Khan, and Shunji Tamatsu, investigates the efficacy of different promoters within lentiviral vectors to enhance the expression of the N-acetylgalactosamine 6-sulfate sulfatase GALNS enzyme. The study involved creating LVs carrying the native GALNS coding sequence under 3 distinct promoters, CBHCOL2A1 and CD11B. The researchers also engineered LVs featuring a human codon-optimized GALNS cDNA which was tagged with a D8 octapeptide to further enhance expression. The experimental process involved transducing several cell lines including HEK293 HepG2 and MPS-IVA fibroblasts and chondrocyte and monitoring them over 30 days. The results were promising with LVs using the COL2A1 promoter yielding the highest enzyme activity across all cell types tested. This was followed closely by LVs featuring the CBH promoter. Notably, vector copy numbers VCNs were significantly higher in treated MPS-IVA fibroblasts and HepG2 cells compared to HEK293 cells, indicating a robust transduction efficiency in cells relevant to the disease model. One of the most compelling outcomes of the study was the normalization of accumulated GAG levels to those found in healthy individuals, particularly with the use of the CBH and COL2A1 promoters. This finding suggests that the LV-based gene therapy could effectively reverse the biochemical abnormalities associated with MPS-IVA, ultimately offering a more feasible treatment option for patients. The implications of this research extend beyond the lab. If these results can be validated in clinical settings, they could pave the way for a revolutionary treatment paradigm for MPS-IVA and potentially other lysosomal storage diseases. The findings from this study could significantly impact the treatment landscape for MPS-IVA, providing a more effective and accessible therapeutic option, commented Shunji Tomatsu, one of the authors and a key contributor to the research. As the scientific community looks toward future developments, the validation of these findings in human clinical trials will be crucial. The potential to alleviate the burdens faced by individuals living with MPS-IVA remains a tantalizing prospect, highlighting the importance of continued research in gene therapy and the innovative applications of lentiviral vectors. The journey from bench to bedside may be long, but the hope for effective treatment is brighter than ever thanks to these promising advancements. In a rapidly evolving tech landscape where innovation often drives competition and user experience, recent announcements from Apple at the Worldwide Developers Conference WWDC 2025 have generated significant buzz. Among the highlights were major updates to Apple Wallet iPadOS and the introduction of a new design language dubbed Liquid Glass. These advancements not only aim to enhance user convenience but also signal Apple's strategic direction in the realm of digital integration and user interface design. Apple's Wallet app is set to become increasingly travel-friendly with the upcoming release of iOS 26. The new features include a digital passport option that, while not replacing the physical document, can be utilized for age and identity verification within certain applications and at select TSA checkpoints. This development comes at a time when many users are still transitioning to the Real ID standard, providing a practical solution for those who may be unprepared. Additionally, boarding passes will incorporate terminal maps for easier navigation in airports, while a new integration with the Find My app will allow travelers to track their AirTagged luggage directly from their boarding pass. Tim DeChant, a senior reporter at TechCrunch, noted that these enhancements aim to streamline the travel experience, making it more efficient for users. Meanwhile, the iPadOS 26 announcement showcased a significant overhaul of the iPad's operating system, introducing a new windowing system designed to enhance multitasking capabilities. This update allows users to fluidly resize app windows and arrange them anywhere on the screen, reflecting a more Mac-like approach to operations. David Pierce from The Verge remarked that this shift marks a clear distinction in how iPadOS is evolving, aligning it more closely with traditional computing experiences. The addition of a Mac-style menu bar and a revamped Files app further emphasizes Apple's intent to blur the lines between its tablet and desktop offerings. Central to Apple's presentation was the introduction of the Liquid Glass design language, which aims to unify the look and feel across its devices. Craig Federighi, Apple's software lead explained that this design framework is a response to the interconnectedness of Apple's products. However, opinions on this new aesthetic are mixed. While some see potential in its layered translucent interface, critics like David Pierce argue that it may not significantly enhance user experience and could complicate navigation. The comparison to Microsoft's ill-fated Aero design from Windows Vista raises questions about the practicality and longevity of such a visually complex interface. As Apple continues to integrate new functionalities across its ecosystem, the implications for users are profound. The enhancements to Wallet and iPadOS reflect a broader trend towards increasing convenience and efficiency in daily tasks, particularly in travel. However, the reception of the liquid glass design will ultimately determine whether Apple has successfully balanced aesthetics with usability. Looking ahead, it will be fascinating to see how these new features play out in real-world application and how users adapt to the evolving interface. With a public beta expected next month and a full rollout in the fall, Apple is positioning itself at the forefront of technological innovation, yet the true test will lie in user acceptance and the practical benefits these updates bring to everyday life. As the tech giant continues to redefine its software landscape, the anticipation surrounding its next steps remains palpable, leaving consumers eager to explore the future of their devices. In recent months, the cuts to the United States Agency for International Development (USAID) have triggered significant repercussions both domestically and internationally, casting a long shadow over global development efforts. As policymakers grapple with the implications of these reductions, the impacts are being felt across the globe, particularly among local staff and implementing partners who rely on U.S. aid for their livelihoods. Historically, donor aid has served as a crucial driver of employment not just within the agency itself but indirectly through a vast network of implementing partners, contractors, and non-governmental organizations (NGOs). USAID has been instrumental in sustaining thousands of jobs worldwide, but the recent wave of funding cuts has put many of these positions at risk. Simon Fraser, a seasoned expert in international development, notes that sidelining USAID personnel has not only eliminated career pathways for young professionals but also left a void in critical sectors such as health, education, and governance, where local staff are particularly vulnerable. The rationale behind these cuts can be traced back to the Trump administration's economic nationalism and a transactional approach to foreign relations. President Trump and his former advisor Elon Musk were vocal critics of USAID, with Musk even labeling the agency as a criminal organization on social media. This viewpoint dovetails with a broader trend where aid is increasingly viewed as a tool for political leverage rather than a means of fostering goodwill or stability. The belief that U.S. taxpayers should not subsidize international development while domestic issues linger has gained traction, leading to a marked decrease in funding allocations. The fallout from these cuts is stark. Approximately 60,000 development workers globally are expected to lose their jobs, including program officers, health professionals, and educators. For instance, Johns Hopkins University announced plans to eliminate over 2,000 positions after an $800 million reduction in USAID funding, a move that has sent shockwaves through both domestic and international job markets. Other contractors such as Chemonics and DAI have laid off hundreds of staff members, reflecting widespread job losses that threaten to unravel years of development progress. The cuts extend far beyond mere numbers. They disrupt essential programs in health and food security. In South Africa, the withdrawal of over $430 million in U.S. health aid has jeopardized crucial HIV/AIDS treatment initiatives, leading to clinic closures and the loss of thousands of health worker jobs. Similarly, the cancellation of the McGovern-Dole Food for Education program has left tens of thousands of children without meals, demonstrating the immediate human cost of these funding reductions. In addition to the direct impacts on employment, the broader economic implications cannot be overlooked. Estimates suggest that dismantling USAID could cost the U.S. economy around $23 billion in exports and jeopardize over 200,000 jobs, particularly in sectors that benefit from development aid programs. This outcome starkly contrasts with the stated goals of the Trump administration, which aim to bolster the American economy. The cuts have also raised concerns about the erosion of trust between donors and recipient communities. As development initiatives flounder, the social contract that underpins cooperation in fragile regions becomes increasingly fragile. The emphasis on locally led development, while necessary, requires sustained and predictable funding to be effective. Programs that foster local engagement and build institutional capacity are vital for resilience against future shocks. As the consequences of these funding cuts continue to unfold, the future of U.S. foreign aid remains uncertain. The ongoing debates about the role of international assistance in promoting global stability and health are likely to gain momentum, especially as communities grapple with the immediate impacts. Moving forward, there is a pressing need for donors to prioritize stable, locally led aid systems that can create employment opportunities and foster trust. Without a renewed commitment to global development, the hard-won progress in health, education, and governance could face further jeopardy, leading to an avoidable employment crisis that resonates far beyond national borders. The path ahead will require a concerted effort to reassess priorities and reinvigorate the U.S. role in global development, ensuring that aid serves as a bridge to stability rather than a source of disruption. In a groundbreaking discovery that sheds light on the dietary habits of some of the largest creatures to have ever roamed the Earth, scientists have unearthed fossilized stomach contents from a sauropod dinosaur for the first time. Excavated near Winton in Queensland, Australia, the fossil, affectionately dubbed Judy, comes from the species Diamantinosaurus matilde, which lived approximately 94 million years ago. This significant find not only deepens our understanding of the sauropod's feeding behaviors but also challenges long-held assumptions about these colossal herbivores. The excavation of Judy's remains, which occurred in May 2017, revealed a largely intact body despite disturbances from scavengers shortly after death. Among the preserved features were mineralized sections of skin and most notably the dinosaur's gut contents, which provided a rare glimpse into its diet. It's hard not to view Judy with a sense of awe that you maybe don't get with other sauropods, remarked Stephen Porapat, a paleontologist at Curtin University in Perth and a member of the excavation team. Measuring approximately 11 meters in length with a neck stretching 4 meters and a tail of 3.3 meters, Judy was likely not yet fully grown at the time of her demise. Her fossilized remains, including the gut contents, are set to be displayed at the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Museum in Winton starting June 9. Porapat emphasized the significance of Judy's completeness, stating, "You can really get a sense of Judy's overall size and the shape of the whole animal, which is something that just hasn't been possible with previous sauropod fossils in Australia." The analysis of Judy's stomach contents revealed a diverse array of vegetation, including leaves and fruiting bodies from conifers such as Araucaria and Ostrosequoia wintonensis, alongside unidentified flowering plants. Intriguingly, the plant material appeared sheared but entirely unchewed, leading researchers to hypothesize that Judy was an indiscriminate bulk feeder. "There's no mastication happening in the mouth at all," Porapat explained. "It's just simple snip and swallow." This finding not only provides concrete evidence of the sauropod's herbivorous diet but also raises intriguing questions about their ecological impact. The sheer volume of unchewed vegetation in Judy's stomach suggests that these giant dinosaurs could have emitted significant amounts of methane, similar to modern-day elephants and rhinos. John Long, a paleontologist at Flinders University in Adelaide who was not involved in the study, remarked, "If we only had skulls of panda bears, we would assume they ate what other bears ate, not just bamboo. Now we know they ate a variety of species from both the ground and from the branches of trees." The implications of this research extend beyond the study of sauropods. Understanding the feeding habits of these giants offers insights into the ancient ecosystems they inhabited and their role within them. As Porapat noted, the discovery of Judy's gut contents marks a significant milestone in paleontological research, illustrating the profound importance of direct evidence in reconstructing the lives of long-extinct animals. Looking ahead, the continued study of such fossilized remains may reveal even more about the behavioral and ecological dynamics of dinosaurs. As researchers strive to uncover further evidence from this and similar finds, the story of Judy and her contemporaries will undoubtedly enrich our understanding of life's history on Earth, providing a clearer picture of how these magnificent creatures thrived in a vastly different world.